Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel. And in our top stories today from Mediaite, starting all the way over on the left, we have Zohran Mamdani repeatedly refuses to say Hamas should lay down their arms during Fox News interviews. So the contention, of course, continues now that Donald Trump was able to broker peace there in the Middle East, an extraordinary event. And here we have Zohran Mamdani, the Democratic nominee to be the next mayor of New York City, repeatedly refused to say that Hamas, the terrorist organization that launched a war with Israel by attacking civilians in southern Israel a little over 2 years ago, should lay down its arms during an interview with Fox News' Martha MacCallum on Wednesday. So an interesting exchange happened here on Mediaite, and I'm not going to play it from Mediaite because it's the full extent of the video. But then we have kind of the follow-up here on the right, as you would call it, I suppose, Conservative News Daily Caller. Zohran Mamdani won't call on Hamas to disarm and relinquish power in Gaza. Now, you guys may remember just a few years ago, the Democrats were getting all out, bent out of shape. If you said Islamic terrorists, right? Remember that? When it was radical Islamic terrorists. You couldn't say it. The Democrats would lose their minds if they said it. And, of course, even here on YouTube at the time, we weren't able to say that, too. And, of course, if you saw earlier this week or last week, we covered the changes from YouTube, admitting what they had done and what was going on during the administration and during COVID and other times of misinformation and disinformation claims. And, of course, we see the rest of that article here. But let's play a clip here on X, of course, where you can follow me, with all my social media links down below there. You guys can follow me there. So let's check it out.
You've denounced Israel and the United States for the response to the slaughter on October the 7th. In fact, at times you've called it a lasting stain, the response, and at times you have left October 7th out of your statements completely around this issue. Right now, you just talked about Israelis killing some Palestinians, but Hamas is killing Palestinians within Gaza. And they have not returned the bodies that they promised to return, including 2 Americans, 𝐀𝐦𝐚𝐳𝐨𝐧 and Omar Nutra, whose families we have interviewed over these months. So what is your response to what Hamas is doing now?
I think those are bodies and remains that should absolutely be returned. And I think that I have no issue with critiquing Hamas or the Israeli government, because my critiques all come from a place of universal human rights. And my focus, however, is right here in New York City and transforming the most expensive city in America into one that's affordable for each and every New Yorker.
But, okay, I want to get to that, absolutely. But do you believe that Hamas should lay down their weapons and leave the leadership in Gaza?
I believe that any future here in New York City is one that we have to make sure that's affordable for all. And as it pertains to Israel and Palestine, that we have to ensure that there is peace. And that is the future that we have to fight for.
But you won't say that Hamas should lay down their arms and give up leadership in Gaza.
I don't really have opinions about the future of Hamas and Israel beyond the question of justice and safety and the fact that anything has to abide by international law. And that applies to Hamas, that applies to the Israeli military, applies to anyone you could ask me about.
And see, and here's the thing. This is your technical response from a political standpoint. And this is what I often imagine that the establishment uniparty and the left and the media, although he didn't answer the question, is what they are accustomed to working with. And so you get someone like Donald Trump who's off script and does his thing. This becomes a problem because everything is what I call keynoted. And you see the same thing with J.D. Vance. Like, you're not going to get things past J.D. Vance because he already knows the game. They play a game, as we cover here on the BuzWeaver channel. That's why we take the difficult, the complicated, the tumult, the confusion, and the framing, and we break it down into very simple terms. And that's because there's always a motive behind any political figure. There's always something behind what they're doing. And the media is always trying to uncover it, undermine it, obscure it, criticize it, ridicule it, or even admonish it. And sometimes, obviously want to push it themselves. So you got all this underbelly working that goes on, and it's quite extraordinary. But I just wanted to show you this specifically with Zohran, who just wanted to avoid this incident altogether, because it's interesting. Let me know down in the comment section, what do you think all of the protesters, protesters in support of Gaza and Hamas or Free Palestine, what do you suppose they're going to be doing now? I'm just curious what you think they're going to end up doing. What's going to be their new grift? What is it that they're going to be doing? But I wanted to bring this up because I found it kind of fascinating But this is what we just witnessed, the typical political response that we see across the board. And I think this is what a lot of the mainstream media and the machine, as it were, this is the way they're used to doing business, just like we just saw there. Now, see here, we have Zohran Mamdani opens the door to praising Trump for Israel-Hamas deal. And this is a separate topic, but you can see here how it was covered. Kind of interesting, kind of sparse, but it was partially covered. But let me know down in the comment section, what do you think the protesters are now going to do, the ones that spent all that time protesting about Gaza? I'm just curious what your guys' thoughts are on that. But nonetheless, guys, thank you so much for your continued support. Everybody across New Tech, that's BitChute, Rumble, and Odyssey, you guys have been fantastic. Thank you so much for the support there. Really support across everything here in 2025. Below the video, as I mentioned, you can find the various social media links that I belong to include my affiliate marketing links. But most importantly, guys, your likes, your shares, and your comments, your engagement, your interaction here on the channel is what helps out with the YouTube algorithm, and it's very much appreciated. Appearing there on the screen for everyone watching on YouTube, that is the channel icon. You guys can click on that to subscribe, as well as select notification. That way you know when there's content here on the channel, and I'll see all you guys in the next video.